Did you know that you could play the piano like this even if you've never played before? This is called smooth jazz improvisation, and the amazing thing is that you don't have to have any piano experience to play this. So if you're brand new to the piano or you've never tried to improvise, this is the lesson for you. I'm gonna walk you through these two amazing chords to get you started improvising. I'm gonna show you my top 3 improvisation techniques. They're super simple and they sound great. And finally, at the end of the lesson, I'm gonna show you how to put it all together so that you can start improvising at your piano today. All right, my friends, to get started improvising at the piano, you only need to know 2 simple chords. And what I love about these chords is that they sound amazing, but they're not very hard to play. Okay, these are very jazzy, funky chords. They're used in smooth jazz. And so here's what I want you to do. You're gonna take your left hand and you're gonna play this chord, F, A, C, and E, okay? Very simple chord. And then if you cross your right hand over and you play the D on the bottom with the chord, you'll really appreciate this chord, okay? It's called a D minor 9, but don't worry, if the names are going over your head, it will make sense over time. Second chord, we're gonna take that C and move it down to a B, and now put the G on the bottom, and let's play the whole thing. Super jazzy G chord. This is called a G13, okay? But all you need to remember is the first chord, this is our D chord, and the second chord, the G chord, okay? Let's go ahead and play this with the included backing track, and then I'm gonna show you some of those improv techniques. Here we go. And here we go. D to the G. And back to the D. Sounding great. To the G. Now let's try some rhythms. Check this out. You can try your own rhythms. Make it up and have fun with it. All right, I want to move you on to the next step, but before we do this, if you're enjoying the lesson, please hit the like button. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this. Are you ready to get started with your improvisation? I am so excited about this step because in this step, you're not going to learn all of the things that you could do. We're going to focus on the top 3 things that you should do if you're getting started with improvisation. And in my opinion, the first thing to do is to learn what I call the F position. Okay, sounds amazing, but it's super simple to play. Okay, so here's what you do to get started. You're gonna come up here high on your piano, and you're gonna play F, G, A, and D. Okay, that is your F position because the bottom note is F. Now, there is a lot you can do inside this position. I wanna teach you one of my all-time favorite techniques, the harmonized slide technique. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm striking the A flat and the D, and I'm sliding up to the A with my index finger, okay? That's a harmonized slide because I'm sliding the A, but I'm harmonizing it with the D, okay? So once more, here's the motion. You're gonna strike these two and then slide up with the same finger. Okay, now you wanna get this fast. So work on your speed, okay? Once you do that, then do your down slide. There's your down slide. So for the down slide, you're striking the A flat and the D, and you're sliding down to the G. Okay, same motion, but you're coming down. Okay, so just practice that. Then we have an F, which is a pivot note. Now for me, I like to play it by itself, or you can harmonize it. Okay, so once more, the 3 positions, we have the slide to the A, the slide to the G, and then you've got that pivot note F on the bottom. Once again, you can slide that. Okay, now I put together a little exercise for you so you can practice it. Here's how it goes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, and this is getting you comfortable playing this technique with your chords. So here's what I'm doing. I've got my D chord in the bottom. I'm gonna do that slide up and then down, and then I'm gonna come F to the G. And then I do the same thing with the G chord. So I go, and then down, and then up. Makes sense? Now the rhythm is cool here. Listen to the rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, lots of fun. Now I want to teach you the other two techniques, but you can get started here making up some little lines. And a line is like a little musical sentence where you start improvising in this position. So you can make up a line like this. You could go like that, or you could go like that, or you can go lots of cool things that you could do in this position. But what I encourage you to do is focus and try to go through lots of rhythms, right? We want to have rhythmic creativity. That's what makes a really good solo. It's not necessarily moving all over the keyboard and playing different scales. It's actually taking one position and exploring lots of different rhythms. I'm going to do a brief improv with this technique, and then I'll teach you the other two techniques. Here we go. And we're just making it up. Here's the D. Here's another one. Here's a faster one. Let's do another one. Yeah, very cool. And if you listen to smooth jazz and funk, you're going to hear pro players use a lot of this technique. Okay, I want to move you on and teach you position 2. This is a very important position if you want to play lines like this. Really, really nice. So for this position, I'm playing D, F, G, A flat. Okay, you're just going to block the position, get it in your fingers. Again, we call it the D position because the bottom note is the D. Now from here, you want to work on some techniques that you can use to improvise in this position. And I put together 3 primary techniques. The first one is playing single notes. Very simple, you're just playing little melodies. Right? You can also do 8th notes. A little faster. You hear that? Another technique I love is the roll technique. For the roll, I'm just coming down all 4 notes kind of quickly. Now you can use your ring finger like that, or you can use your 3rd finger and kind of slide down the note, okay? It's a roll, really nice, okay? Turns are another one of my favorite techniques. A turn is basically when you grab a note, like the G, you come up and then back down, okay? But you're gonna do it fast. So you grab the G, come up, like that. You can also turn on the F. You see that? So you're grabbing the F, you come up, back down to D. Okay, very simple. 2 of my favorite techniques there, these turns. Okay, so let's do a little exercise. In this exercise, we're gonna mix single notes, we're gonna mix rolls and turns. Here's how the exercise goes. Okay, so we're rolling down the chord. We're gonna go up to G, D, and then F, G, and then a little pickup note D, and then on the G chord we have, that's a turn on the G, and then G, F. Does that make sense? The rhythm is pretty cool. I'll do it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds really nice. Now you can improvise in this position. Let's play with the backing track. I'm going to show you some different things you can do. Here we go. Let's try some rolls. Let's do some turns on the F. Let's do some turns on the G. Yeah, That's sounding really, really nice. By the way, this lesson comes with a downloadable backing track. You can also download and print the lesson sheet music over at pianowithjohnny.com. I'll put a link to that below. Okay, the last position that I encourage you to use is what I call the A position. And this is a really good technique if you want to transition down the piano. So let's say you're playing a line up high. And you want to come down the piano. Okay? Well, this A position helps you get down the piano, okay? So I call it the transition position. And for these notes, we're gonna play A, C, D, and F, okay? And this gets you, once again, down the piano, okay? Now, for this particular position, I like to use 3 techniques. I'll do single notes. I'll do turns. Okay, the turn is basically on the C, like that. You see that? So nice and fast, C, D, C, A. Makes sense? Then I also like to do a roll. The roll means I'm just coming down the full chord. Does that make sense? And it's fast, kind of like a brush motion. All right, let's play this with a backing track, and then I'm going to show you how to put all of this together. And here we go. I'm playing single notes. Let's do some turns. And little rolls. Really, really nice. So these are a few of the key techniques that I do encourage you to use. And next, I'm going to show you how to create a solo. But before we dive into this, if you want to go deeper on improvising in this style, we've put together a full-length learning track for your level. If you head over to pianowithjohnny.com, click on Learning Tracks, select Beginner, and then head down to Styles, you're going to find these learning tracks where we kind of dive into different styles. And the one I want you to go to is the Funk and Smooth Jazz Piano Learning Track. In this learning track, we've put together step-by-step courses for you to learn how to improvise in this style. You're going to learn all about funk improvisation, funky blues soloing, how to play different tunes, how to groove over different chord progressions, how to play licks, how to play gospel music. It is a ton of fun, and so I highly encourage you to check this out. I'll put a link to it below. All right, in step number 3, I'm going to show you how to create an amazing solo. Here's a quick demonstration of how you might use these techniques, and then I'm going to walk you through how you can create some of your own lines. Give it a listen. 2, and here we go. So in this solo, I'm starting in my F position, up slide to A, down slide to the G, and then I come down and then I go. Very simple, okay? Then I'm gonna come down to my D position, little pick up F, and then I have a little turn on the F, see that? And then F, D, and then I go. Just single notes, okay? Very simple. Now from here, I'm gonna go up to that A position, do a little pickup note, and then I'll roll down this position. 1, 2, you see that? 1, 2, and then I go and, right? G sharp and D, and then I go G, F, and then I go, very simple, you see that? And then I go, and back to that F position with the harmonized notes, and then I do a little roll down my D position. See that? Okay, So this is a good example of how you can mix these positions to create some lines. All right, I'm gonna walk you through one improvisation. This time I'm just gonna make it up. I'm gonna walk you through the techniques that I'm using. And then after this, I'm gonna teach you a couple more bonus chords that you can use at the end of the chord progression. So stay tuned for that. They're really amazing sounding chords, okay? Here we go. Let's start in our D position, single notes. Keep it simple. Let's do some turns. Let's do some F position harmonies. Let's do that A position. Let's bring it down. F or A position. Let's bring it nice and high, harmonize. Let's bring it down. All right, you've done a great job, and the last thing I want to show you are a couple bonus chords that you can use. And when you get to the end of each phrase, you can add some really cool chords. The first chord is called a B flat 13. You're going to play it like this in your left hand. You see the notes? And then A, you're going to play that chord, really crunchy chord, and this gets you back to your D chord, like this. Okay? And once again, you'd use it at the end of the form. So you're playing the chords. Okay? You're gonna do it a second time. Now from here, you can go to that B flat. And that brings you back to your D chord. Hey friends, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment and let me know. And be sure to check out Piano with Jonny if you want to take your learning to the next level and you want step-by-step courses in your favorite songs, styles that are made for your playing level. Be sure to check it out, and I'll see you in the next video.